Hello folks, today I'm going to be taking a look at the deluxe edition of Escape from Stalingrad Z by Raybox Games. Okay, so this is the deluxe box for Escape from Stalingrad Z. It contains Escape from Stalingrad Z base game, and then the miniatures are in the deluxe box. So we're going to start with the base game. Oh. So first off, sort of vinyl textured box cover. Really nice artwork on it. Inside the box, you get your game rule book, your scenario book, folders, play aids, standees, tokens, action markers, dice, 8 character sheets. Okay, so the game itself is for 1 to 3 players. Doesn't take long to play through a scenario, 20 to 40 minutes. As you build your story and attempt to escape Stalingrad, you have the blurb there about what's going on. When I pop this open, you can see we have our boards. This one is a Kickstarter exclusive, so we'll set him to one side. But here we have our character boards. You also get the little wooden hex tokens for tracking things like fatigue and health. So these are double layered, nicely recessed. So when you're playing, you don't have to worry too much about things slipping out and getting shunted across the board if it gets accidentally knocked. You get your skills that you upgrade as you sort of progress through. You've got various slots for gear and weaponry and supplies, and on the reverse you get the preferred weapons and their backstory. So we can see there a variety of Soviet and Germans as they attempt to make their way out of this nightmarish hellhole that is a zombie-infested Stalingrad. So that's our boards. You get D12. One set is white and red flecked, presumably for blood in the snow. Oh, rolled a 1. How very me. You also get a set of bespoke dice. So you can see various symbols for searching and dealing with things. A bag of standee clips. And then we have our paperwork. Ooh. So we'll start with the tokens. Get 2 sheets. First sheet has supplies, so food, ammo, medical, grenades, various weapons, stats on them. On the reverse, these are nice and thick. 2mm? Yeah, 2mm cardstock, so robust satin finish on those. Then we have our standees plus some more weapons. So your armoured, your kugelfish, the betas, and then some of the boss, if you want to think of them like that, the Omega, Grinzer, Alpha and Tankista. And our heroes, Lydia, Till, Reiser, Steiner, Dasha, Algier, Becker and Kariska. They actually have reverse, so you have a front and a back, which is nice. Sometimes they just flip the image for standees, so you get both sides. So those are our tokens. And then we have the meat and potatoes. We have our folder. So first off, a couple of nice big Ziploc bags for storing your tokens. I appreciate that. We have our scenario book, which is spiral bound. On this side we have more tokens. So in-game tokens, weapons, loot, blip counters if you want to think of them like that, or barricades and doors. And then the folder itself actually turns into a bit of a GM screen. You can set it up at the far side of the table when you're playing. It gives you your quick reference. So how to play, movement costs, line of sight, arc of fire, how it's defined, and then the opponents. So that's a really nice touch, having everything on that little folder. Cool. So I think this is the base sort of game itself. So let's have a look at our rulebook first. It is... do we have a page count? About 60 pages. Full colour. And we have... let me see, the initial, well, up to page 9 is the initial explanation of game components and what you need. Rules run from page 10 to 28, and then the zombies from 29 to 33, and then your campaign and stuff about the team itself. So full colour. And really nicely laid out. There's our status markers and action markers for the tables. Artwork is a mixture from these pen and ink, sort of two-toned through to the full colour. Everything seems like it's well explained, so you shouldn't run into major issues when learning the game. Nice bright colourful examples, and really nice. I don't talk about fonts and printing much because I don't often look at the books on camera. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but it's a really nice large font size, and for me that's worth its weight in gold. So there's our zombies, how they attack, types of, and then your campaign, how to play through it, and multiplayer and co-op. Multiplayer co-op is an option. So rulebook, very nice. Scenario book. I won't flick through this because there will be spoilers in it. However, I will go to the first. So spiral bound, so it sits nice and flat, because this is also your game board. Each double page spread gives you your scenario on this side, what your setup is. So characters are placed on square A, which is here in this corner. Place doors on the blue markers, place objectives on the squares marked 0, or presumably O for objective. Secondary objective, you can roll a d12 to determine what's going to be. Things you can find. Your zombie pool is collected at the bottom of the page here as well. And then if you complete this successfully, you go to scenario 3, wake up, time to die. So nice layout, very simple, very easy to set up. Once you get the book down on the table and you've played through a scenario, you'll be firing them out there very quickly, I imagine, because setup is not going to take particularly long. You don't have to build your tree and you don't have to set up your table. It's all there on the book. So you can just go ahead and run through that. As you can see, many, many scenarios. That's as much as you get as a sneak peek. Anything else will ruin the experience for you, and more importantly, me, when I come to play it. Now, nicht öffnen, not open, possibly, and something else there. So this is the deluxe box, which contains the figures. It also contains a little journal. I think this might be Kickstartery again, but I'll show you it because I got it and it's really nice. So this is some poor soul's journal of what's happened to them as they've gone through, and how it starts as just a war journal and then descends into something much, much more horrific. So really nice little addition. I don't know if this is part of the deluxe, if the deluxe will contain it when it hits retail, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous and a really nice little addition. That aside, these are our figures. So you can just play with standees. This is quite cute. Essentially, it's a little movement tray. So this contains our heroes and our villains, and you can choose which is which. I'll pop a few of these out and zoom the camera in. Okay, so starting looking at some of the undead, the damned bosses. They are one piece, or I wonder if any of them are pre-built. No, I think they've gone for one piece miniatures. So decent level of detail on them. They are PVC plastic. Some of them have a little bit of a bend in them, so they may need a bit of straightening with hot water. Obviously this one's running. That's not a bend, it's just running. But the detail's there to paint up. And they're easily identifiable. They've got a nice silhouette for board game pieces. This is one of my favourite. That completely skull-faced Nazi. They are bigger than your average bear. We are looking at something around 40 mil. So these aren't wargaming. These are specifically big board game monsters. But again, nice bit of build. Actually, he was pre-assembled. His arm and machine gun, MG42, have been added. Slight mold lines / seam lines on them that will need to be cleaned up if you're painting them. Nothing too egregious. He's a fun looking fellow. I hope that's not another mouth in the middle of his torso. I'm hoping that's just that he's missing his stomach. That's much more easy to live with. But you can see bones and skin coming through the ripped clothing. That's our bosses. And we have some of our poor regular walkers. This one is practically a scarecrow. He's not half the man he used to be. So you can still see the German equipment hanging off them. The smaller non-boss figures are around 35mm. Still nice figures. A little bit of softening of the detail around some of the faces, but these are board game pieces, so I'm content with that. They have as much detail on them as I need to play my games. One of our heroes. Again, bit of mold line, bit of cleanup needing done there. Rocking the cigarette and a PPSH. And a great coat to try and keep him warm. Humans are, as you may expect, around that 35mm, the same as the regular zombies. Here we have a Russian sniper. Detailing on the faces is actually quite nice on these. Paint job should pick it up well. You can see the rifle will need to be another hot water job to get it to straighten out slightly. She is a little bit shorter, but then she's walking forward. So yeah, nice set of miniatures, nice addition. Not needed for the game. If you are a miniature fan, you might want to pick up the miniature set as well. But if you're just looking for a quick narrative adventure, the standees or tokens are both perfectly fine for it. If I pop in our heroes on either side of that, you can see just the size difference. It's an absolute monster. So there we have it, a terrific game. Even if you don't get the deluxe version with all those gorgeous miniatures in it, the standard game with the standees and counters and the book is more than good enough. The game is a really fun little narrative adventure and doesn't require a huge amount of real estate. So if you can unfold a 2-page book onto a table on a train or an airplane, then you can play this game, which means it's great for traveling, and you can just sort of start to build up a collection, hopefully, over time on your shelf. Next out of the traps for Zombie Tango Oscar will be the Project Ryza. So they've got multiple stories planned out, some sequels, some prequels, expanding the sort of backstory and lore of this particular zombie outbreak in World War II. But let me know what you think below. Until next time, folks, bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.